One of the things that I was told when I started my PhD, and I was told by many people, is that it gets better as you keep doing it and you start to understand things. I want to tell you, as a senior professor at this moment that has been doing this for a long time, it doesn't get better. The process is just as hard as it ever was for me. And the issue is that this is a sociological process. It's very little to do with truth or scientific validity, all those sort of things that you're taught about. And it's more about a social process or a psychological process. And the battle is that you have to face yourself every day. You have to get into the working game of things and work towards something. It's you against that computer. That's the psychological aspect of things. But then there's a sociological thing, that the validity of science that we think about, it constantly is evolving. And it's not necessarily that there's one static answer that you're pursuing that's going to be valid and reliable, as we're sort of taught and what everybody thinks about. And instead, it's this process of demonstrating that you are somehow legitimate, or that you have status within the particular process or profession, so that other people recognize what you're actually doing. And it never gets easier. And that's why I want you to sort of think about, is that the challenge is there, that you have to write probably 10 pages a day repeatedly for the rest of your life. And it is always difficult for me. I sit there, and by the end of the day, I'm angry at the world. I don't want to do anything. I think that the world's out to get me. And then I try to delude myself that there is some sort of magical way to handle this and some sort of thing. But the truth is there's not. And this could be considered burnout, academic burnout, as people sort of think about this sort of cynical view of the world, that you just feel like you're just pushing endlessly. And that could be burnout, and that could be a viable thing. But I also think it's the nature of what we actually do, is that there is no sort of truth to things as one would think about, in that there is this ultimate thing that you can work towards and improve. In my view, it just does not happen. So how do I handle this? I think for me, the biggest way that I handle this and deal with all of the sort of challenges of getting up, and the pain and suffering sort of still feels the same way. And I still know that there's these underlying patterns that you can't change that are within the academic game, is to detach, to do other things, to get my meaning from other things outside of doing the work per se. I try to get meaning out of my family and my life. I try to get meaning out of my dogs. I try to get meaning out of building the Reciprocity Project and doing something that is incredibly hard. This in of itself, I think about this all the time, how it is absolutely representative of the scientific process. I'm trying to build a platform so that we can have non-rejectable research papers and in grants. And so this platform, that's the ultimate goal, is to make it easier for all of us. And you think that everybody would jump on this, right? And this is the irony, is that you think everybody would jump on it and be supportive. The truth is they don't, right? And that should be your default coming into it, is that everybody is skeptical, they don't care, and you have to figure out how to fit within that regime where everybody is skeptical, they don't care, they're in it for themselves. All of that kind of stuff is true when you look it up and you start reading about the things of the antics in academia. It's true, but it's true of anywhere. It might be just more pronounced within the academic game. And so what do you do? How do you actually get meaning or fulfillment? Frankly, I don't. I try not to. I try to actually realize that it's a job, it's hard, And no matter how much I actually try with it, the feelings don't change. It doesn't become something that magically happens. And I just simply have to get back and do it again and repeat, and then try to get meaning in many areas of other areas of my life. Building the Reciprocity Project, my kids, my family, my life, all of these other things that are not necessarily related to the academic game. And I think if you want to stay with this a long time, you have to start developing those things. You have to start realizing that, yeah, it's not going to be as fulfilling as you think it is. It's not going to be the end all and be all, and that's okay. That's where you take a step back and you say, you know what? I'm okay with who I am. And I need to figure out, what does it mean to be me at any given time? And I don't think I ever feel that way. Then I know what the definition of me is, but I think I can get there by just taking one little step every single day. And hopefully you could do the same thing as well. So just keep going, keep figuring it out. I know it's a mess. This whole Reciprocity Project, when you see the whole world jumping on it, and this platform for non-rejectable research articles, when there's millions of people that are on it, then maybe I'll start believing the opposite. But right now, I am very, very skeptical of everything. And I just frankly don't believe a lot of the stuff that actually is told within the academic game. You have to make yourself some meaning in other areas. It just doesn't happen. You have to figure it out. You have to sit down and actually figure out what it means to be you at any given moment, and love yourself at every moment, even when it's a grind, and it never gets easier. All right, take care and have a wonderful day.